me tell you a story.
Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
I'm Megan, the skeptical one.
I'm Erin, the believer.
Hey, summertime.
That's right. I haven't put on a bra all day.
The joys of summertime.
Yeah, I'm in my pajamas. I did have big plans to go to the pool.
Uh-huh.
Second day in a row. They've been thwarted.
Oh, the rain.
Yeah, yesterday our neighbor's pool that we mooch off of wasn't quite open yet.
Yeah, you ruined my kid-free day because you told me the pool was open. I thought, well,
I didn't say the pool is open. I just said we were going to the pool. I wasn't like, I know the pool is open. I got my information from a 7-year-old.
Yeah, there was your first mistake. Well, I then went and got my almost 7-year-old because I felt guilty for not letting him swim. So I went and got him at camp, pulled him out early, and then the pool was closed.
Yeah, sorry. I felt real guilty. But then you made it sound like, well, I'll call around and see what else we can do. And then you just disappeared. I was like, oh, what are we going to do? I was like, should I change out of my bathing suit? I waited for a while. And then I was like, their car is gone.
Yeah, because we decided to do something I knew you would not want to be invited to.
Okay, well.
We went hiking.
I mean, what have we always said? An invitation is still nice. It's still nice to know I'm included if I wanted to.
You said you had a birthday party at 3.
Okay, I did. But you definitely were like, oh, I'll call JCC. I'm like, okay.
No, I did say, okay, now we're going to argue. I did say that, but you rebutted, but well, the problem is we have a birthday party at 3 is how you said that. So then I meant like, I'll call around for Miles and I to go find something to do.
Okay.
I didn't necessarily mean you too, because you had something to do.
It didn't sound, anyways.
Listen, it's fine. Okay.
Today it rained. So that's why I couldn't go today.
Yes, that's right. And then yesterday, you messed all that up. But
okay.
Listen to our hiking trip. I got to tell you this funny little story. So we, Miles, he is just the most fun to do anything with. He just enjoys any new experience to the max. And he kept saying, this is incredible, Mom. This is, I'm like, man, I really need to take this kid hiking more often. He really enjoys it. And we go down to this great little creek. And we're trying to find like the path to get down to the creek. And we found this big tree that had those like big giant roots, that come up.
Oh, yeah.
But it was over the creek a little bit. So when you look down in some of the holes of the roots, you could see down into the water.
Yeah.
And he's looking down one hole and he goes, oh my gosh, Mom, there's something down there.
I'm like,
yeah. Okay. Sure. And he's like, no, Mom, it's like a huge hairy spider. Now, if this had been a huge hairy spider, we would have definitely been in Australia.
Oh, okay.
So I looked down in this hole and I definitely see hair, but I thought, oh, it's kind of like that moss, that really thin hairy moss that grows.
Yeah.
Until I saw it move.
Oh my gosh.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, Miles, it really is something. He's like, I'm telling you, it is. And I'm like, oh no, it's really something that's moving. He's like, I know. And he was like, it's a giant spider. I was like, baby, there's no way that is a spider.
Oh my gosh.
All we could see through the hole, this hole that was, about this big, is just hair. Oh. But now it's moving. And I'm like, what could that be? And I thought, no, surely that's not a beaver. I've never seen a beaver in real life.
Well,
sorry. Well, look,
you don't get around much, do you?
Look, this is where this is going too. This gets funny. But anyway, I look and then all of a sudden it shifts. It moves. I look back in the hole and now it looks like a snake. I was like, oh my gosh. Now I said, now Miles, why does it look
it's
like
a skinwalker?
No, it was not. It was the tail, the beaver's tail. It really was a beaver.
Oh my gosh.
So, because then we Googled it, because it's 2023. So you're out in the woods. It's like, let's Google and see what animal we're looking at. So I Googled it. And sure enough, the tail of a beaver, it's kind of scale-like. Huh. So it looked like a snake. So I'm like, this is what we're looking at right now. That's incredible.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, Miles, this is amazing. And he was like, I know. It's the first beaver I have ever explored.
Oh no, that's so...
and I was by myself. I didn't have anybody else to look at and be like, oh my gosh. It was so cute and so fun. And we had quite the adventure.
Oh, that is awesome. That's very cool.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see a beaver in the wild.
I know. Who doesn't like wild beaver? It was lovely. It was a lovely beaver. Beautiful coat. Anyway, it was great. We had a blast.
Good. I've decided that this podcast has officially ruined me completely.
Yeah, lots of ways. But why specifically?
Well, first of all, you know how I'm not a cusser.
Oh, yeah, that's out the window.
Turns out when you cuss once a week,
it just starts happening.
It seeps in. Mm-hmm. And the other day, Sophie, my oldest, is real into scaring people all the time. Mm-hmm. She loves it, like popping out and scaring you. Mm-hmm. I am much harder to scare, believe it or not. Kevin, oh my gosh, that man is screaming all over this house. But it takes more to scare me. Yeah. And I had just said that. She tried to scare me. I was like, girl, no. Mm-hmm. Nice try. You got to try harder than that. Yeah. So I was in my bathroom thinking I was alone. I was like brushing my teeth or doing something. I wasn't like going to the bathroom. But as on my way out, I stubbed my toe. Oh. And it hurt so bad. Mm-hmm. And I'm by myself. Mm-hmm. And I started off good. Yeah. I went, oh, fart, 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 fuck. Like that.
You're the cutest cusser in the world.
Walked around the corner. And her eyes are real big. And she's looking at me like, busted. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she was like, oh, I got you. And I was like, yes, but you were not supposed to be there. And she was like, I really didn't think you were going to cuss. And then there it was. And I was like,
you let a little fuck pop out right at the end.
Whoopsie daisy. So that was great.
So cute.
And then this was right before school got out, but we were in a group text with other teachers. Okay. I was on my way to a meeting and I was like, hey, no surprise. I'm late. I'll be there in 5 minutes. And then one other teacher just wrote coming. And I wanted to write, oh, that's a lot of information. But I didn't.
You should have. They would have all laughed.
I am professional.
If nothing else.
But I was like, oh, this podcast has really seeped into every core of my brain.
I think it's just you. I think this podcast is just the outlet your little brain has been looking for.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, boy. Yikes. Sorry, world. It's been unleashed.
That's right. Oh, I think that's great. That's hilarious. I love it.
Do you really like it that much?
I really do. I really do.
That's great. I love it. That's so good. I think it's so funny. That's hilarious. It's great.
I laughed an ample amount. I thought we were moving on.
I know. And then you've talked about how funny it was for a long time.
Yeah, and then I laughed. I think, like, what did I do wrong there?
I'm saying you almost too much.
Oh, my gosh. Now I don't know what to do. Do I laugh too much?
Well, it's just a funny way to end it because you like laughed, which was great. And then you were like, that was great. That was funny. I loved it. You said like 4 affirmations right there. It was very kind.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Like to build you up really good.
You do.
Sorry. What my like ADHD mind was thinking, what are we going to talk about next? Oh my gosh, like panic mode.
Oh, so you're just using words to fill the air?
I was. Well, my brain was thinking, you had something to say. You were going to say something before you got into your beaver story.
Before you got into your beaver. In public? We were in the middle of my kitchen.
Oh my gosh, you're too much. Oh, you're going to make me start saying affirmations again. Okay. Sorry. Moving on.
Okay, that's your beaver.
No more beaver talk. That's enough of that. Put your beavers away, everybody. Get focused. Okay. So, no, I watched this insane documentary that you have got to watch.
Okay.
The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. Have you watched it? Have you heard of this story?
No.
Did you ever watch the movie The Orphan?
Okay. Yes. Scariest movie I ever watched. I had to watch The Elf after it.
Yeah.
I do know about Natalia Grace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch
I haven't watched the documentary yet. What's it on?
It's on HBO Max now. It's called Max.
Okay. For those people who don't know what you're talking about, give a little background.
So basically this family, it's one of those documentaries you watch and you're like, oh, I think it's going this way. Yeah. And then it takes a left turn. You're like, oh my gosh, now I don't know who is the bad guy. Anyway, you come to the conclusion of who the bad person is. I'm not going to tell you.
Come on,
I'm not going to tell you. No, you got to watch it. Right. But basically, just the snippet is this family adopts the special needs child who has dwarfism. But they soon start to realize that she might be older than what her birth certificate says.
Because they think she's like 6.
When she comes to them, she's supposed to be 6 years old.
Yeah.
But there are telltale signs of her body developing. You can't be that developed at age 6.
Yeah.
So they start looking into it and they think that they are actually they've adopted a grown woman.
Oh my gosh.
Who is conning them into thinking that, so anyway, so that's the premise of the story. Okay. And this child, according to their story, is in some ways very malicious, very like out to get them.
According
and their boys.
To the parents.
According to these
adoptive parents.
Start showing very violent, aggressive behaviors towards their other children and towards them.
Yikes.
So anyway, it takes twists and turns, and sometimes you don't know whose side to be on or what by the end of it, you figure it out, or hopefully. I mean, I knew where I was standing by the end of it, but it is a wild story.
And it's on Max. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah. Please watch it because we have to porch and talk about it.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yes.
Well, The Orphan really was the scariest movie I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah.
I think.
That could be a good one for movie night.
Oh my gosh, maybe. Yeah.
But it was terrifying.
Yeah.
And then it's so wild because that movie came out before this story happened.
Oh my gosh.
So you watch that movie and you're like, that's the most terrifying movie. And then it feels like this is the live version.
Imitating art.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It's wild. Yeah. Definitely watch it.
Okay. Well, then if you watch that, everybody, and need a nice, wonderful palate cleanser. Mm-hmm. Sophie and I have been watching my new favorite show. It's so good. A Small Light on the Disney Channel.
Oh.
Or on the Disney Plus or whatever that streaming is. It is about like the woman mainly. It's mainly from her perspective, but her husband's involved too, who helped Anne Frank's family.
Oh, wow. I bet that's really good.
It is so good. You are madly in love with the cutest woman. She's so sweet.
Oh, cool.
Like she's funny.
Uh-huh.
And she's like a partier at first. And, I mean, she's wonderful.
Yeah.
And she's like just always on the right side. You're like, when you watch things and you think, well, gosh, I hope I would have been on the right side of history, right? Like, I think I would be.
That's what you want to think.
That's what you want to think. She is that person.
Absolutely on
like she's loud about it in the 40s,
I love it.
And she is incredible. It's so good. I want to follow.
True story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the true story. It says like some little things have been added or changed a little bit, but mainly it's
like how loud she was in the 40s.
Right. Probably. But it's so good. I love it. I love the show so much. Like, even though it's called A Small Light, even though it is certainly heavy, and I have cried every single episode.
Yeah.
I laugh every episode too.
Oh, wonderful.
It's so good. So watch that.
Awesome. And we needed a new show.
You can pretty much watch that with the kids around. I mean,
there's
a couple like, or her and her husband are brand new.
Hello.
But I've only muted it once.
Okay.
Sophie's like, you're muting it? Like, you want to watch this? I'm like, well, last time I fast forwarded it and then we went too far. So I had to go back. So yes, I'm muting it. So anyways, and even those two things, I don't think I needed to because it stopped pretty quick. So it did say PG-13 and
please, I'm not worried about it.
Anyways,
my kids have heard.
It's so good. It's so good.
I love it. That sounds great.
Yeah. So anyways, that's my recommendation.
I needed a new one.
After your scary one.
Oh yeah. It's wild.
Yeah. But speaking of movie night, it will be this week when this comes out.
Ooh, come on in. Maybe we'll find Orphan on something streaming.
Oh, I think it is on Max, but I don't know if it's on anything else.
No, we need it on something more accessible since we're going to have an influx.
I know.
Of Patreons come in now.
That's right. This. We have at least 2 people who will be joining for the first time.
That's right.
Hopefully.
I know. I cannot wait to see them.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll have more.
We don't have to. You don't have to be seen. You just have.
We don't have to see you. Don't worry.
Well, I would not sign up for anything.
You just said that like we're not going to look at you.
Don't you?
But
worry.
We aren't. We're not going to look at you. We'll hear you, and we want to hear you.
Wear your pajamas. You can put curlers in your hair if you like that. It's fine.
Yeah, you could pull an errand and don't wear a bra all day.
You could pick your nose while we're watching the movie, and we will never know.
We'd never know. I mean, you could tell us, but why? Why would you tell us?
Don't tell us. That's
don't
weird.
Be a loud nose picker. That'd be real weird.
Gosh, maybe we don't want them to come.
Or just mute.
Yeah, mute that for sure. Please.
Oh my gosh, we have some good lengthy stories tonight.
We got to get to it. Okay. I'm so excited about tonight's story because Shelby has been teasing us about where Shelby works.
Yeah.
And we were like, tell us more. And tonight we have a story from her crystal shop.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. So the story is titled That One Story About a Lady Who Needed Help. Very intriguing.
Was it me? I think I might want to get into crystals. Is that weird? Not for
Look,
me.
not for you. You could just, at this point, just about say anything. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that sounds right. I mean, you've gone through natural deodorant and like weird shampoo. You went through a really weird shampoo phase.
I did. I'm back to bad for you shampoo. I'm out off the bar now.
Well, it did some weird things to your hair back then. I was like, is it going to start falling out? What's going on? So I'm glad to hear that your bad for you shampoo is back.
Okay.
I mean,
no judgment, but gosh.
Well, I mean, you got a lot going on, and then we're cleansing stuff, and now we're into crystals. It's fine. Like I'm just saying.
Okay.
Throw crystals in there. Why not? At this point, let's do it. Okay. So here's Shelby's story. What up, yo? It's your feisty girl, Shelby. Boy, do I have a creepy story that still gives me goosebumps. It's a long one, too, so buckle up, kids. It's going to be a ride. Megan, I always look forward to your words of wisdom after every story. I feel like she's being sarcastic.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was like, well, that's awfully kind.
But then she asked for it. So please hit me up with some wisdom. I will.
All right.
Don't you worry, Shelby. I'll always deliver that wisdom, aka skepticism. So as I told y'all, I have a few different jobs. One being the crystal jewelry metaphysical shop.
Okay.
You want to look up that word? What's metaphysical mean?
I think it's like a kind of a little bit new agey, little like, it's like a spiritual shop.
A spiritual shop. Okay.
Maybe new agey is not the right terminology.
Yeah, I think spiritual, like you would maybe get your rosemary from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not for your chicken to cleanse your house. That's Kroger. Or Whole Foods. I don't care where you shop. But anyway, not there for your rosemary for your chicken. Okay. I get a lot of people in here, lots of these little teeny boppers saying, I talked to Lucifer and we are in love. Side. And I only read it that way because Shelby says side eye. So I take what people say to me with a grain of salt, except Peggy. Peggy comes in one day around November looking very defeated and drained. She tells me about a necklace of hers that just fell off. I think to myself, okay, lady, it just broke. She brought the damn thing in with her and it's not broken. The clasp did not come undone. It's just weird. Okay, my interest is piqued now. She starts to tell me some weird shit about having electronic issues. Her kids are seeing things and being affected by it. And her black salt, and then in parentheses, for protection and banishing bad shit, bag she had over her son's door was just off and had fallen down. Okay, maybe it just fell, but the salt was almost withered away like it got scorched.
Oh, well, it was already black.
I know. How do you
get black salt?
How do you get black or black salt?
Now, I know about salt because I've seen Hocus Pocus.
Yes, I have too. I do believe in that.
Yes, that salt around.
Yes, it's my favorite part.
Why do you do it like that? That can't be right.
Whoosh. Yeah.
But yeah, so I know about salt. I've never heard about black salt.
Yeah, but that's for banishing, apparently.
Okay.
So I show her the ritual candles we have. We put 2 in a little bag and put it up on the register. I continue to help her with things, and she's on the phone talking to a friend of hers that is helping her with all of this stuff.
Okay.
You could hear 3 very distinct, almost knocks ever so often, and the call would get fuzzy.
Okay, so the callers are hearing the knock. Like the Peggy and her friend
Peggy's
on the phone.
like, listen, you can hear these knocks and it's getting fuzzy.
Okay.
But the friend is like, it's not me. I don't know what that knock is. I mean, I guess I was just kind of filling that in. I don't know. I wasn't there, but that's my guess.
You weren't the friend?
I was not the friend. No, because I'd be like, girl, chill out. Salt. Quit putting salt over your doors and then it won't happen. I'm kidding, Birdie. Calm down. Okay. I started to get this gut feeling something was in the shop with us. So I started to burn some Palo Santo.
Oh.
I think I'm saying that right. To cleanse and bless. I opened the door to let the bad vibes out, and I noticed a black, almost shadow whoosh out of the store.
Oh, my goodness.
I didn't say anything because I don't want to create chaos because maybe I just saw that, right? Boy, was I fucking wrong. My coworker and Peggy both saw the same thing I saw.
Oh, my gosh.
Haley, my coworker, was slightly freaking out as she is new to all of this.
She's like a third day on the job. Like,
yeah.
What?
I think I need a new job.
Oh, no.
Right?
I used to be an accountant.
Yeah. Shit like this never happened. I love it. I gave her the mom look to chill the fuck out, dude. Shelby is so funny. Peggy, of course, is very concerned because her children are involved in this. Some type of energy was attacking her, and I could feel it. As crazy as that sounds, But whatever, at least I don't believe the earth is flat. Shelby. Oh, you're so great. Okay, so Peggy leaves and I'm drained AF. Usually I feel drained, but somewhat at peace when I help someone like this. But this time I didn't feel peace. I was still very anxious, but figured maybe it's just me. I am a very anxious person, and I had not had a lefty smoke that day. What's a lefty smoke?
Oh, I don't know, but I want one.
I know. What's a lefty smoke going to do for us? Is it like the wacky tobacco?
Like when you pass it to the left, maybe?
Maybe, like pass it to your neighbor, to the left.
To the left, to the left.
Is that what that song's about?
Yes.
Is it really sing that song? To the left, to the left. No, it's not.
Well, which one are you talking about? The Beyonce song?
Yeah. It's like my stuff is to the left of the door, like she's leaving. It's all about getting her stuff out. You think it's about her smoking weed?
Yes, I've always thought about it.
You've always thought that song is about Beyonce smoking weed. I thought it was about her leaving her. Okay. She like left her dude's stuff to the left of the side. She's like, get out.
Beyonce to the left. About. Sometimes I like to see if Google will figure out what I'm trying to say. About weed.
Did it say that?
No.
No, because it's like, no, it's about her
husband. Parody song, lyrics to Beyonce, irreplaceable. To the left, everything you smoke, pass to the left. In the closet, that's my stuff. Yes, if I grew, well, I'm not saying all those words.
Well, now see, that's a parody. But the real thing is just like,
it's about pot.
No way that is about pot. That is about her kicking her man out.
But then she's like, all right, to the left.
No, she says she's leaving his stuff to the left.
Why would she care where she put his stuff down?
Moving, so that he can figure out where to, like, let me tell you specifically where I'm going to leave your shit because I want you to come get it.
I'm going to leave it all in my front yard.
Playing some mind game where I'm just going to pretend like your stuff is out there and really your sweatshirt's still in here. You have to come in and get it so that we can make back up. No, she's like, bitch, I left your shit on the left. You can pick it up right there and goodbye.
I don't know.
Okay, anyway. Side note, after having my left-hand cigarette, I did not feel better. A left-hand cigarette, that's got to be wacky tobacco.
That's code for something.
Yeah, it is code for something that we are not cool enough to know.
Although when I smoked, it was always with my left hand. But that was regular cigarettes.
You always smoked with your left hand? No, I was always with a right-hand smoker.
I think I do more with my left hand, other than right.
You're ambidextrous.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Okay. The next day, my boss calls me and says, hey, a woman named Peggy was supposed to get 2 ritual candles, but didn't get them. Did you charge her? So, like, Peggy leaves the store and goes to
called and said,
get in her bag and is like, my candles aren't in there.
Yeah.
And that is when it all just clicked. I never charged her because the candles weren't there where I put them. I checked the whole store and had Haley check as well. So she goes and gets the candles, puts them up to the register to check her out.
Yeah.
But now she's like, oh, I don't remember swiping those.
Okay.
Because they weren't there.
Yeah.
Like when she goes to do everything else.
Ooh, that dark entity grabbed them.
Yep. I think that's what we're insinuating here. I checked the whole store and had Haley check as well. We could not find them. We even watched the cameras from when she was in, and you see me put them on the register, and it's just like they disappear.
Oh, wait. That is so weird.
May not seem like much, but my God, it still freaks me out. Yeah. I mean, even as a skeptic, that does seem like a lot.
Yeah.
If it really happened. But it does seem like,
my gosh.
It's Shelby. I can tease with Shelby. Peggy actually stopped back in today because shit has hit the fan again.
Oh my gosh.
Her 6-year-old, this is weird, Erin. Her 6-year-old is writing out equations that are for something like an atom.
Oh my gosh. Like an atom bomb or something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So this is the little girl speaking. She says, I know my purpose and I can't tell you, but don't worry about it, Mommy. I can handle it.
Oh, no. Not at 6. I need to handle it.
Right. Her friend that she was on the phone with back in November has tried to send her protection stuff for her place. Oh. And that is the only piece of mail.
I thought you were talking about the 6-year-old's friend. Oh, but I'm back. Peggy's friend.
Sorry.
Okay.
Peggy's friend that she was on the phone with back in November has been trying to send her protection stuff for her place. And that is the only piece of mail that keeps getting lost. Ooh. That's in quotation marks.
Yikes.
He tried to send 4 to 6 small packages and she never got one. There's a shadow man in her house and it is affecting her artwork that she sells now. She sold 6 paintings to someone in Michigan and the woman's house burnt down after she got them.
Oh my gosh.
Those were the only paintings she didn't seal,
Do not link Peggy's account here. A, I don't want it. And B,
we're not selling that shit.
No. Her poor little business would go under. Well, I guess you would kind of need a
maybe you
warning.
Just stop doing your business if that's what happens with your business.
Golly. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, goodness. Or pick something else. Like maybe become a firefighter.
Macrame.
I don't know.
Nobody's ever gotten their house burnt down for macrame, right?
I don't think anybody's gotten their house burnt down by artwork either, but this is the story.
Clearly they have.
Clearly they bought paintings and then they had an electrical fire and it was
okay.
So, but I'll say that again in a minute when I debunk all of this. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Oh, but she says that those were the only ones she didn't seal. So I don't know what sealing means. Like when you do artwork, like do you?
I mean, you can seal a painting so that like to kind of help protect it, but I don't know if there's like a ritual.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, if there's some sort of spiritual ritual that Peggy normally does and forgot to do it with these, which that sucks.
Yeah, don't forget that, Peggy. That's kind of important.
That's a big step to forget. She used energy to paint and the energy is off. Everybody uses energy to paint.
not like muscle energy, but like spiritual energy. Like she lets her spiritual energy come through her in her painting.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm with you. I got it. Not with you. I'm with you, Peggy. I got you.
I'm just saying energy is used by everybody. It's fine. Her son asked if it was friendly and it said yes. I can already hear Birdie saying, girl, no, it ain't your friend. Because I said the same thing.
Right.
I love it. Obviously, this is a developing story. And I will fill y'all in when she reports back after doing what I advised. I want to know what she advised.
Yeah.
Yes, there were kids in the store, but unless one of them turned into basically smoke and flew away, it wasn't them. The smoke that was at the top of the door. Also, yes, there are possums here, but I really don't think that was it. I don't know. Usually I can come up with a reason, but this one has me stumped. I love you too and our little community. Also, Aaron, How to Sell a Haunted House is one of Grady's more tame books.
Oh.
You need to read his other books, especially The Final Girl Support Group, and make sure you read My Best Friend's Exorcism because that movie did not do the book justice.
Okay. I have it on my list.
Okay. Stay weird and creepy, y'all. Shelby, that weird lady who talks to plants and rocks.
Oh, all right. I love it. I have read his vampire book, The Southerner Housewife's Guide to Killing a Vampire in the South or something weird. It's a really long title. I've read that one. But anyways, that is wild. It sounds like this spirit that's in her house is like actively working against getting cleared out, which is so scary.
Yeah, like wants to stay.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what happened in last week's story, Cammie's story, where that demon was like,
don't help. I want to be
created the stairs,
Right. Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah. If I believed in it, that it would be a great story. I believed in both. I'd be like, wow, this is like cinematic.
Oh, you're no fun at all.
I tried, but I'm like, okay, what could it have been? Could it have actually been smoke? Could something incense? I mean, I would guess there's some things that are burning in that store.
Oh, then I can't go in. I'm allergic to incense.
Yeah, well.
I don't think so. Incense burns pretty gray. It's a pretty chill, smoking thing.
Maybe, unless it catches something else on fire and it kind of like goes like poof, like a big poof ball.
No.
Up towards I mean, I don't know how fire works, but I did watch that one movie Backdraft a long time ago. And there's some shit that happens with fire when it hits oxygen and the door opens. And
yeah, we lived that at our house when we were little.
Yeah, we did live that. Oh, with the Advent candle. Oh my gosh, that was awful.
It was awful.
Like the demon was there. See, if we were really into that, it would have been like the demons caused that.
That was actual
science.
That was science that has already been proven. I say that because
what look am I giving you? Like
there is other science that has not yet been proven, aka the paranormal. But no, we did have a little fire that simmered in our basement until you opened the door when you smelled smoke.
Yeah,
and I know. Almost burnt our whole house down.
I'm like a firefighter.
It was your fault. No, I'm kidding.
I also put the fire out. No, it was Mom's fault. It's the adults.
Yeah, it's
I will so throw her under the bus. It's your fault, woman. Until you are the adult in the house, you make sure all the candles are burnt or like out.
Yeah, our house did not burn down that day. But then do you remember that same day our dryer got caught on fire?
I do remember that.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's almost like a demon was there.
It's almost like a demon was like, don't you light those Advent candles.
Yeah, and if you do, I'm going to catch your dryer on fire because that makes sense. Like, come on, get logical here.
Okay, well, I don't know. It's coincidence, but it's a big one. Anyways.
Wait, also, when I said get logical here, I was talking to the demon. I was not talking to you.
Oh,
I was like, come on, demon, connect the dots better. That made it really sound like I was being mean to you. Like, get logical here. And I was talking to the hypothetical demon in this situation.
Okay.
I'm going to go with shadow. I'm going to go with you have a lot of things that are now being planted in your mind. This person's coming in like, I've had all these things happen to me. So now the vibe is definitely like, oh my gosh, that's so creepy.
Okay.
We're already in the perfect setting to be a little creeped out.
Uh-huh.
And we're kind of going into helper mode. Like, okay, I've got to help fix this. So we're hyper vigilant. So we're like going into that mode, and then the door opens, a car goes by, a shadow darts across there. And all of a sudden we're like, oh my gosh, did you all just see that? And they saw it because the shadow is real and it really happened and it went out. But
okay, how do you explain those candles being there on the camera and then not being there a second later?
Yeah, I don't know. Do we check underneath the register?
Yes, she said she looked everywhere.
Like, well, everywhere in the store. But did you check like directly underneath the like table that the register was sitting on? Is there a chance they could have rolled off?
I don't know. Nothing showed up in the camera with that shadow though. That would be crazy. Or like a blurry spot. Ooh, or their faces blurred like in The Ring.
Ew, that's horrible. I don't hope for that.
It's so scary.
That is scary. But great story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if I believe it or not. It's a great story.
I believe it, and I'm spooked.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready for another scary one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to read a story, not from Charlie, like I tried to claim last time I read one from Chelsea.
But what did I do? I opened up and said, oh, we have another one from Charlie. And you said, nope, that's Chelsea.
I promise, it's from Chelsea. Okay, so subject line is another creepy-ass story about that creepy-ass house.
Ooh.
A memoir by yours truly.
Oh, I love it.
Cheers, sisters. It's Chelsea again.
Oh, cheers, Chelsea.
Like that you put your name at the top. Did you miss me?
Always.
As the subject line so eloquently states, I am back with yet another creepy-ass story about the creepy-ass house I once lived in. You know the one with the basement dwelling, amorphous blob shadow that flew straight at my head. The one where something threw a decorative glass brick with the image of Jesus on the cross etched inside it, across my bedroom while I was cleaning. Yes, that house. This story, like the others, takes place in said creepy-ass house during my teenage years. I was about 14 when Resident Evil 5 was released, and I just so happened to be full swing into my horror entertainment is my entire personality phase at the time. So you bet your sweet asses that I cracked the fuck out of that game. See, this is why y'all make me cuss when I stub my toe. I would stay up late until the wee hours of the morning in my living room, just slaying and being slayed by hordes of zombies.
I love it.
The night in question was no different until it was. One night, I was up late as usual, but my late night zombie slaying from nights previous must have finally caught up with me. I don't even remember falling asleep, but I must have passed out on the couch. Now, I have to interject to mention that I am not someone who has nightmares. I have dreams that would be considered scary, horrifying even, but I never feel actual fear in my dreams.
Well, that's lucky.
Right? I just kind of get through it without waking up and then think to myself, wow, that was a little fucked up when I do finally wake up and process what happened in my dream state. I've described nightmares, in quotations, I've had to people I know, and they're always shocked that I don't wake up in a cold sweat, heart racing, blah, blah, the whole 9 yards. This, my friends, is what made this night in question so different. On the night I fell asleep on the couch, I had a real nightmare, and it felt realer than real. In the nightmare, I had woken up in the middle of the night. I was on the same couch I had fallen asleep on in real life, except the room was different. This room was so huge, so dark that I couldn't see the walls, ceiling, or floor. I waved my hands a few inches in front of my face and nothing.
Creepy.
It is so creepy. But what I could see was a man. He was standing about 20 or 30 feet away, giving me the world's eeriest Kubrick stare.
Kubrick.
I looked it up. That's how professional I am.
Word of the day.
It's like, I guess I'm assuming from what I just looked at images, the director of The Shining.
Oh,
That
okay.
stare was like looking down, like dead eyes, but you're smiling really big.
Ew.
Yeah, it's creepy. Like think of Johnny from
Kubrick, and that's like a verb.
Yes, I typed in Kubrick and stare came up as an option, unlike when I tried Beyoncé.
But what's the definition? Like blank stare? Smiling blank stare?
It typically signifies that the character is unstable and deranged. When an
Oh.
actor performs the Kubrick stare, something intense will likely take place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very creepy.
Yes.
Have you ever seen American Psycho?
No. I'm too freaked out by it.
Oh, yeah. It's very creepy, but you
Yeah.
should definitely watch it.
And I also don't like that so many men like it.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. Like men love that movie. And I'm like, I don't want to
Ew.
watch it.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Not my man. Kevin's never said anything like it was my favorite movie.
Yeah, I've never heard James talk about it. I didn't know that that was the thing.
Yeah. I feel like real douchey guys really like that movie.
Wait,
and I don't
am I
like
a real
it.
douchey guy? Like
No,
underneath?
No, because
I don't love it. I just remember being like, this is one of the most messed up movies I've watched.
Yeah, but I think they're like, you gotta watch it. It's so cool.
Oh,
Yeah. And so I'm like, something about that makes me like, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, me too now. I hate it. It's awful. Don't watch that movie.
I don't know. That's just been my experience. I've met a lot of kind of jerky guys who love that movie.
Quit hanging out with douchebags.
Well, I don't like hang out with them. Let's see.
Well, if you do, I know what movie you should watch.
Okay. He was grinning ear to ear, but a smile didn't register in his eyes. His chin was angled downward, and he leered at me through his eyebrows. It was like his face had a giant glow, barely visible, illuminating the shape of his shoulders, while the rest of his body faded into the inky blackness of the vast room I found myself in.
Ew, it also reminds me of Stranger Things, like when she's in the blackness.
Yeah.
And she's looking, yeah.
Yeah. Best case scenario, dude had some really, really bad intentions toward me. Worst case scenario, this motherfucker was evil incarnate. I was frozen in terror for what felt like ages. Finally, I mustered the courage to bolt in the direction of my front door. I ran in the pitch black for a long time. The man was gone, but I didn't dare stop. The only sound echoing around me were my feet pounding the floor as I ran. My own panicked breathing and the man's laughter. Oh, that's awful. Finally, I reached my front door and the laughter stopped. I thought, okay, this is how I escape. I unlocked the door and looked slowly and carefully through the glass. The man was back, his face inches from mine this time.
Oh, no.
Just on the other side of the glass, and I had just unlocked the door.
Oh, shit.
I turned around and started sprinting in the opposite direction, toward my back door, just as the door was flung open.
Ugh.
Once again, I ran for what felt like an eternity, this time feeling the man closing in on me. Just when I thought he was going to catch me, that my life was over, my feet hit the cold tile of my kitchen, and I woke up. Only I was no longer on the couch where I had fallen asleep. Oh no, I was standing in the dim light of the kitchen, cold tile under my feet.
Oh, weird.
Listen to this part. Every drawer and cabinet door stood open. Oh.
That had some things happening to my lower regions. I don't know what, like,
in a scary way or in a turned on way?
No.
Okay.
like, oh my gosh.
We started this conversation in your beaver and now we're back again.
No, I don't even mean my beaver. I mean my butt like clenching and opening and clenching. Like, what the hell?
Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm not done.
Okay.
I am not a sleepwalker. I have never had a sleepwalking episode before this nightmare, and I have not had one since. But that night, I finally understood what it felt like to wake up from a nightmare in a cold sweat, heart racing, fight or flight response fully activated.
Oh, no.
A reaction no other dream had ever gotten from me before or since. But it was a dream, right? That is what I have to believe, because what does it mean otherwise? Somehow, I don't think I want to know. I have at least one more story about this house.
Oh, please write them. And you're such a good author.
I know. It's so good. You're right there. That I will save for another time, but I'll give you a little taste of what's in store.
Okay.
A couple I went to school with moved into the house with their 2 kids years after my mom and I had moved out of it. About a year ago, the house was weighing heavy on my mind, and I felt the need to message one of the people living there about it. As it turned out, she and her daughter had also had some very strange experiences there. My next story will include screenshots from the conversation, as well as my wonderful storytelling and some added context.
I love it.
I don't know how well the story will translate to a verbal retelling for the podcast, but if it doesn't work out, I'm happy to post on the group instead. Either way, it won't disappoint. Cheers, Chelsea, she, they.
No, Chelsea, you don't give that out to everybody. Listen, half those people don't even fucking listen. You give that content to us. You can tease them on there and be like, if you want to know more, tune into the podcast. All of you wannabes. Come on, get on out of this.
Now, if you're listening, you're not one of the wannabes.
No, you're not. We're not talking about you. Unless this is your first time listening, you've been hanging out in our Facebook group for like the last year.
You used to be a wannabe, but now you're a
now
bee.
You're here, and now you love it.
Yeah.
You're a bee.
That is so scary.
Okay. That's why I keep making jokes, because it's terrifying.
You can explain the whole thing off as a dream, but why were all the doors and cabinets open all of a sudden for no good reason?
Okay. So
I'm so scared. I'm really scared of that story. I don't like it.
The visual of it was terrifying. It's terrifying. And then the twist at the end. Yeah. That she wakes up and everything is, it's
like she was really being chased.
Imagine that. Well, okay, but chased, but really every door, every drawer, everything open doesn't really have a reason other than like, okay, I'm going to switch to your role now.
Okay.
I'm going to pretend right now like I'm full on believing this before I debunk it. Unless it's like an entity trying to get her attention.
Yeah, like this really happened.
This was not fake.
Yeah.
This was real.
For sure.
So much I need you to pay attention.
Yeah.
I've got everything open just to prove to you how real it is.
Yeah. That's how I read it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The other day I read on this, well, really, I kind of got into a little bit of trouble. Hot water. Stephanie got me out of it, though.
Oh, nice.
Sure do love Stephanie. I love this group. I respect this group. It's the Appalachian Witchcraft group that I'm in. I don't know if that's the title. Appalachian Witches, I think. I love it. I've been in it for a long time, even before this podcast, and they've got just really cool stories and really cool things on there. So I hesitated for a long time, even posting about our podcast.
Yeah.
But I did, and I got very positive feedback.
Okay.
So then I thought, well, I'll go back and see if there's, anything. But this time I threw the word comedy in.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, they did not like that. There were a couple people that and I get it. I like 100% understand where they're coming from. They're like, that makes it sound like you are going to make fun of stories that are written in.
Yeah.
And like laugh at the stories. And I understand that. But before I could even say anything, Stephanie came right to our defense and was like, as a listener, and she was very, very, of course, very poised and very graceful in her explanation. So thank you again, Stephanie, for that. But basically just said, as a listener, let me explain the comedy part. It's not at the stories. And so then, I kind of came back into and said, sometimes we do have repeat authors that we will kind of poke fun with, but it's because they poke fun at me and and we try to be very respectful of the stories. And, so I think that the people who were worried about that simmered them down a little bit, enough for one of them to say, well, you can use one of my stories if you want.
Oh, nice.
So that was nice. But anyway, within that post, just there was like a one-liner. I think it was that one. I was hustling a lot the other day, but there was one that just said like, I love skeptics. They're always so scared of everything. They don't want to believe in anything. And I laughed because I thought, no. But this case, yeah. Okay, so this story is so fucking terrifying. Let me tell you right now, my debunk. It was definitely a dream. It was you. You were so panicked in your state of running that like sleepwalking, that you are like pulling at anything. So every time you were pulling at a door, trying to get a door open, you were pulling at different drawers and you were opening them up. That has got to be what happened, because
it's the only thing you'll accept.
The alternative of that is way too scary for me to go into. So this is one story I will say my debunk has got to be correct because of that reason.
It's so spooky.
Oh my gosh, that is one. Chelsea, I think we're going to put you up there with like one of our best stories.
Yeah, that is so good.
Was so good.
I know. I love that story. Oh, I love it so much. Why can't you run fast in a dream? I just had a dream this last week. I don't think I was late for something in my dream. I wasn't scared.
Right.
But I kept trying to get somewhere.
And you were like going through like
and you
slow
motion.
So
slow. What is that?
It's the anxiety. It's and you're
awful.
Literally sleeping. So your body's like can't even process what that would be like.
It's horrible. I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, just move my feet. Like, I remember thinking, like, just go faster.
Yeah.
And then I woke up like, oh, that was a dream.
Yeah, thank goodness I could get up and run a marathon right now.
No, I didn't feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never felt that way my whole life. Yeah, wow, great story, Chelsea. I'm going to explain away as a very vivid dream, but also something that could back me up on that for real. You're Resident Evil, like you are filling your brain with a video game, not just a movie.
Yeah.
Like when you go into that virtual world of like, you are putting yourself in the role of the character. You know what I mean? Like they're coming at you. It's not like you're watching a character on the movie having to run away. It's you having to run from these zombies. It's you having to fight them off.
Yeah.
So what that must do to your psychology, and like talk about like getting your fight, flight, and freeze going.
Yeah.
Like it's been going. Whether you have been sitting calmly, your brain is activated while that's happening. And then you drift to sleep. And it's like that keeps going. But now it's created this other character that you are now having to run from. So I do feel like there could be some scientific sleep study in that.
Yeah. It is weird that it's never happened before or since.
Well, I also don't think, like she admittedly said, you know, like I don't even remember falling asleep, almost like it didn't happen. Like it must have caught up with her being that tired. Now, like, this is something I always do. I always fall asleep while playing Resident Evil. That would be like, wow, that's lulls you to sleep, huh? But this time she was extremely tired. She'd been up for a long time playing this game for a couple of nights. It caught up with her. So now we're exhausted. Our brain is overloaded with scary images and scary things. Drift to sleep. Something terrifying happens. I mean, you know, the regular skeptic who is just being skeptical and not terrified would go right there to that. That's what they would say. I'm going to say it has to be that because it's terrifying.
I know I said my gamer days were over, but that might have to be my next thing. I just can't imagine being scared in a game. And I don't know why.
Resident Evil. Have you ever watched the Resident Evil? You would hate it. They're fast zombies.
Oh, I hate a fast zombie. There's nothing I hate worse than a fast zombie.
Yeah, but she's also a badass, like the main character.
And I'm
like
pretty badass when I'm playing my Harry Potter game.
I think that's a little different than like thousands of zombies.
In under 4 minutes, and that is a brag right there. I was very impressed with myself. I know like 4% of people just understood what I just said, but I was like, that was very good.
I understood what you said. My eyes hurt from rolling. So.
Well, I watched one of my kids playing, I don't know, it's not Minecraft, Roblox, or whatever, Roblox.
Roblox. Roblox.
I watched them playing a scary version of that game.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I didn't realize there was one.
Oh, they're horrible versions of that game. You watch them like a hawk. There's like Grand Theft Audio Roblox.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Well, she was playing it and FaceTiming her friend. And screaming she's like, where are you? Where are you? And I was like, it is a cartoon.
Yeah.
You're playing a cartoon.
And they're not scary.
They don't look
Roblox characters are not scary.
No. Yeah. But is that game scary? Have you played that version? Because she screamed. Oh, she is also a witch.
Well, I don't know. No, but I don't think that would scare me.
That's what I'm like. I just feel like, I don't know. I know a zombie's going to come out and get me. And I know so much that it's a video game. Like I've never felt like immersed in a video game because mostly I've only ever played Mario Brothers, and that's hard to get immersed in that game.
Well, it is a little hard to imagine yourself as like Luigi.
So I might need to try a scary game before I fully hang up my hat.
Oh, look at you!
I just want to try it. I want to see if it'll scare me.
Side.
I just love being scared.
How local is Chelsea? Could Chelsea come over here and give you a tutorial?
Oh, I feel like she's not that far.
Yeah, come on over.
A tutorial on the game?
On Resident Evil.
Oh, okay.
On how to play Resident Evil, because I feel like you're going to get stuck in a corner. This is what I always do in those games. I'm trying. I want to, but
I've gotten better at maneuvering.
I look down one time and I'm done.
I know.
It. I'm now stuck, huddled in a corner like I would be in real life if anything was coming at me.
I was there for a while, but I've gotten better. So I feel like maybe I might give it a shot. And I have had to message Chelsea. She's my plant go-to. If I'm
that's right.
Hey, Fernando is looking rough. I send pictures and she says, do this, change this, go here, say a prayer, put some rainwater on it, and then I'm good.
I love it. Little crystal wouldn't hurt. Put a little crystal
bet it
in there.
Wouldn't.
Come on, Shelby.
I bet it would not hurt.
I got my little plant crystal.
I got my little ceramic ghost in Fernando, and he's adorable. So
I love it.
Anyways.
Is Fernando the one I gave you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, anything to keep him alive.
I know, and he's doing so good. Look how beautiful
Listen,
he
I'm
looks.
always in such competition with our older sister.
She didn't give me that plan. I don't know why you think she did.
Well, that in my mind, she did. So every time I'm looking at Fernando, I'm like, is he doing better
I
than
won
that one?
Agatha at a game night.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with our older sister.
Did she give you any plans?
She gave me Winston, and I killed him so fast.
I win.
You have won this competition, and yet you hate Agatha.
Screw Agatha.
Oh.
She's definitely not as pretty as Fernando.
Shut up. She can hear you, and she's doing great too. I love you both. Anyways, moving on.
Okay. All right. Well, that's right. We're going to move on into fan favorite. Killing it, slaying it, some would say.
Oh, my light just flickered.
Yes, your light is like, hello, fan favorite. I love tonight's fan favorite. I do every night.
Good, because you hate all the other ones.
No, I do every night. Every night I'm like, I'm so excited to highlight this person. So, and I really do. I sincerely mean that. So this is the lovely, the one, the only Samantha. Only we have like 3 Samanthas in our Facebook group. So
I bet I have a guess on which one it is.
Samantha T. I'm going to just say that.
She's been all over our Facebook.
Yes, Samantha is here and she is happy to be here. And I'm so excited that she is in our group and found us. Not sure how.
I think she responded to our call out of how'd you find our podcast?
Mm-hmm.
You commented on a post in another podcast.
I did?
No, I guess I did.
Okay.
Group and asked for stories. And that's how I submitted my story to you before even listening to your podcast. And now I'm playing catch up.
Oh, I love it. Well, Samantha, we greatly appreciate the stories. We greatly appreciate the support that you show on Facebook. And the reason I picked Samantha is because she was the one that I gave the like, oh, what's that? Hunger Games. Like,
oh, yeah.
We're in this together. Yeah. Yes. Because she talks about her toddler.
Okay.
Like when I was going through my story last week about Macy James. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm living in that same thing. I cannot wait to get a full-time job so I can get away from my beautiful little toddler as well.
Yeah. Yep. You love them, but you love to leave them. I tell you what.
Sure do. You sure do. I mean, like sometimes I look at her, Erin, I'm so in love with her little mouth and her little lisp. And it's just the cutest thing I've ever seen. And then sometimes I just am like, who are you?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I realized
most of the time I'm in love with her.
Right. I realize this is going to sound sappier than I normally get.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes when I hug people I really love, and it's usually my kids or your kids, I like it's really loud in my ears.
Oh yeah, like a ringing.
It's like a whooshing or something, and I'm like, oh, that's like my your blood rushing through my body because I'm so happy to be hugging them.
Cool.
Isn't that weird?
Cool. I love that.
That's when I'm like, oh, I am not dead inside. And then it took me years to figure out what that noise was. I'm like, it's so weird. When I hug my kids, I hear noise.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, I think.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's definitely what it is. And I love that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So if they ever are like, you didn't love me well enough, I'm like, well, I did have a physical reaction when I hugged you.
There were like 2 or 3 times I heard a whooshing sound.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I know. I like just any moms out there and dads, anybody who is near in proximity to a toddler.
Yeah.
Godspeed. Anyway, I said, how could I not pick you for a fan favorite this week? You feel my toddler hell pain. And then I went on to ask what all lovely Samantha would like to for us to plug. I'm trying to read what else funny things I said. I said, thanks for all the support you've given our little podcast and for all the suffering your kids have put you through. We would like to make you fan favorite. And then she says, what? No way. See, people love this.
I know. It's so weird to me, but I'm so happy that they do and that we do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so happy we do it.
I know you do. Mm-hmm. Who would have thought that having a hemorrhoid that lives outside my body.
Oh my gosh, that's my new favorite.
I know. My pain in the ass toddler, in parentheses,
my gosh,
would get me this big honor. Clears your throat. I love it. And then, of course, we love this. We love this plug. I live in Missouri, which is absolute hell for women's rights. Can you shout out Missouri Abortion Fund? They provide women in Missouri with transportation and help with travel expenses to safe states to get the care that they need or want.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will definitely put the link on there. And then I love Samantha. if that's too political, I'll figure something else out.
Nope, that's perfect.
I know. And I was like, oh, this is great. You know us, we don't mind getting a little political from time to time. Yeah, like last week, I did a whole segment on white privilege. If you'd like to hear that, become a Patreon. It's
yeah,
on there.
I cut it.
I know you did.
I only cut it because we had already
like
gone.
White privilege.
Oh my gosh, we had already gone on for a really long time in the beginning, and then I was like, well, let's just put this second. It wasn't just you. We talked about it a lot.
Yes, we did. I re-listened. I was like, oh yeah, I was up on that soapbox. I was preaching to somebody.
Yes, but yeah, that's wonderful, and we will donate to, what is it?
Missouri Abortion Fund.
Okay, and there was a thing on TikTok a while back that was like a bunch of women who were like, I live in a safe state.
Yeah.
And if anybody needs to go camping and needs
come on in, right,
a ride to this camping place,
I'll come pick you up.
And
yeah,
I
absolutely.
love that.
I do too. Women, we throughout history, I'm not going to get up another soapbox. I want to. I'm itching. My leg is going because I'm like, this could really piss me off. But throughout history, that's what women have had to do. We've had to look out for one another.
Right.
So when times are hard, at least we can bank on that. There are people out there who don't believe that we should have rights, but there are definitely powerful, wonderful women out there willing to help. So
yes,
we will be those women and we will donate. And we are so glad that Samantha was that woman tonight. And she brought this to our attention. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Samantha. And thanks for all of your recent interactions on Facebook. I knew immediately who it was.
Oh yeah, we love it.
Started the fan favorite.
And listen, don't stop that just because you're now you're like, oh, I achieved my goal. I'm fan favorite. Now I can just simmer down. Right? Come on, keep it coming to me.
I know we keep getting a couple people who I'm like, oh, you've already been a fan favorite, but you're sending people our way, and I love to see it.
I love it. Yes, thank you. Earning their keep.
That's right. That's right. So thank you for all of those people. Thank you for our amazing stories tonight, and thank you for listening. If you would like to check our website out, go to www.myskepticalsister.com. I did just realize, speaking of Stephanie coming to your rescue, I sent her a message like, hey, I don't think we're getting messages from our website. Turns out they were going to spam. Oh. Which I feel awful about. Now, it also turns out we did get a lot of spam from that. Some Eric Jones. I don't know who you are. I'm saying your whole name. I don't need a new website. Thank you. Stephanie and Bob made a gorgeous website for us.
Yeah, we only need Stephanie and Bob.
Yeah, get out of here. Eric, I don't like you.
I'm going to flick him.
He sent a message.
I bet he loves American Psycho. I can just feel it.
Oh, it's his favorite. He probably has an American Psycho tattoo.
He's watching it right now.
Ugh, gross.
Yuck.
Anyways, yeah, he can F off. But you all, if you all have sent a message, I don't know, if we haven't read your story and you sent a message,
your story for
please resend it. I've got it fixed now that it's going into the right spot.
Good.
So sorry about that. That was my bad. She did tell us to check spam at the very beginning, and I was, and then I forgot that that's what I was doing, and I was checking the wrong spot. So that is a user error. That's my fault. But please resend those stories. We want to hear them. And spam erases after a month, which I discovered, unfortunately. So I know we had a story from Cassie. Luckily, she sent it to our regular email. Anyways, going on and on and on. But you can send them there and we will get them now. Or you can send them directly in at myskepticalsister@gmail.com. You can rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts. You can rate us on Spotify. Tell your friends, write your stories in, follow our socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What am I missing? Anything? Join our movie nights, join our Patreon. $3 a month gets you a magnet and a sticker and a card from us and extra bonus content every week. $5 a month gets you all that plus a movie. So come join us. Thanks again for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
His house, which is really hello in Missouri.
His house?
Hizous. His house.
His house.
His house.
His house.
His house. So opposite of his house, we're saying goodbye. Not
Let's say her house.
Her house. Well, dag nabbit, that's an expression of annoyance in Missouri too.
In here. Good night.
La 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 la.
I would go to therapy, but I can't afford it.
React just like that.
No problem.
Yeah. No pressure. Okay. Oh, no, I don't think it was fine.
Okay.
I think I just said, I don't think it was fine. I think it was It's like a Freudian slip. No, I think that's fine.
Okay, while you do this, I'm going to take off my sweatshirt because I'm so hot, but also I'm not wearing a bra, so I'm sorry.
Well,
I've got a shirt on underneath. I've got a shirt on underneath, but I'm not wearing a bra.
You definitely asked me if it was okay if you were braless, but you didn't ask me if it was okay if you were braless and shirtless.
I've got a shirt on underneath.
I have to draw one somewhere.
I don't know why you talked about your beaver for 10 minutes.
I didn't show it to you. It's just like, I'll take off my pants and let my beaver
Oh my gosh, I almost
air
peed
out.
a little.
Sometimes you do gotta let them air out, though. Okay, hold on. Where am I going with this?
Free the beaver.
Free the beaver. Okay, here we go.